We've also made the Stop Adani hashtag trend, which was the intention from morning and the intention of doing a 24-hour space. So keep it up. Mimi sasa naenda kurest. Na let's keep the conversation going. And as I always say, you're the reason why I do this.
Thank you so much. And you're such an amazing host. You know, you guys do an amazing job. Mimi nilisema, nikisema tinta host, ndakuwa nimewachocha. Ili niko host because I know myself. Hey, kuko host needs a lot of commitment. It needs a lot of sacrifice. It means you cancel all your calls, or it means you either have two phones, which I can't afford at the moment, and it means that nothing else moves. So you guys, whenever you see these two human beings over here, Keuti and Wanyama, give so much respect to them because asa wanaka hapo 24/7. Like, they can't do anything else. Unajua za co-host unaweza shuka na urudi na space iendelee. Yeye akishuka, ameshuka na nyinyi wote. So, you guys need to really, really respect the sacrifice that these guys put in and the effort they put in the work, man. And the research they do to make sure that they're factual. Because I'll tell you something, Sauti ya Mwananchi, unlike other spaces, we try and remain factual. Mimi mkiona nimepotea kwa space, jueni tu mimi na recharge mazee. Cause I've been avoiding these spaces for a moment, but I'm back like a vertebrate, back like I never left. And I'm ready to take you guys hadi kesho asubuhi. Mimi I don't care. Leo tunakunywa energy drinks na tunaongelea historia ya Adani. Tunaenda page by page. Binti na Wanyama walishafanya session yao. But sasa ni sisi tena. Now that Binti has gone through the document like 15 times, she might be able to also help us. Unajua sasa ni expert. Anaweza itwa pale KTN ama CNN. So tell us more about this document. Aanze kuchambua hapo kama professor. Oh my goodness. Good evening, Misiko JKIA. Ladies and gentlemen, please request the microphones. Please retweet the space with Stop Adani. This is Sauti ya Mwananchi. Today it is SOTN, that is State of the Nation. And we are starting the online protests version 2 at 2026. 26 minutes past top of the hour, 8 p.m. East African time. Let's take a moment and retweet this space on your timelines. Retweet, and use the hashtag Stop Adani. We have to keep this hashtag trending. And we have to make this moving. Yeah, so talk to us. Misiko, I want to open the floor with you. How are you doing? How offended are you this evening? Talk to us. Kunaendaje?
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank everyone for keeping this here. Ayo, Wanyama, Kioti, you guys are doing an amazing job. May God just bless you people, because whatever you people are doing, it's beyond human. Educating and putting knowledge to people is something that is very crucial. So may God bless you people so much. Today, I just want to say, let's stop Adani. We don't want Adani. We don't want Ruto, because he has failed this country. We don't want his governance. We want something different for this country, and let's keep it up. Sina maneno mengi, I'm very much offended. Nimechoka. What I'm just remaining with is to pray and to hope for the best of this country. Thank you. I'm here to listen. Let's keep it up.
Asante sana Misiko. JKIA.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, I am fine. I'm from the previous space of Wanyama, and I'm glad that I've joined here because it's all about our country. First of all, let's use the hashtag to stop Adani. And the second thing, I'm thanking those who are joining the space to pump out knowledge, to give out ideas on how we have to deal with these things and get what we want as a country. Because what I know, this is not good in the hearts, in the faces of 90% of Kenyans. The 10% are those goons, but 90% of Kenyans, they're not good at all. We are fighting for our asset, which is the JKIA. And mind you, doing research, I'm reading a lot of things. We are here about Adani, and let me tell you, Adani has signed and the president have approved a power transmission infrastructure proposal from power distribution company, Adani Energy Solutions. Leave alone the Adani groups about the airport. This man has also gone further for the energy transmission, whereby the project aims to construct a 371 kilometer of transmission lines and 5 substations in eastern and western Kenya as part of a public-private partnership with Adani Energy. The move, they're going forward to tell us the move is part of Kenya's broader plan to upgrade the aging infrastructure while reducing leakages and frequent outages. And the National Treasury approved the project in March 2024. So the initiative also serves as part of the country's strategy to turn a private sector investment to cut the government spending on infrastructure. Are we there as Kenyans? Are we there? So this thing is something that is burning things. Yani it's opening in Azaza too. It's coming up. When we are here, another thing is opening with this Adani. So this something has affected the country at large. And the things are happening to avoid the headlines of the Adani group, to avoid the headlines of people protesting for the Kenyans to get their airport. Things are pro every day. You find accidents, fires, and nobody is talking about this except the common mwananchi. So we are here, guys, we are here to born ideas on how we are going to claim back our sovereignty. We are going to claim back our assets back. Yeah, that is what I can tell. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nyash KE. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, the other day, how do you call it? There's a guy called Ramesh. I don't know if you guys know Ramesh. Ramesh accused India's leadership of collusion with the Adani Group, and he actually said that the country's foreign policy power, quote unquote, was at risk because of the government's ties with Adani, and the group is known for its close ties to President Narendra Modi. And there is a pattern of the Adani Group signing agreements outside the country that, you know, creates controversies. There is a guy called Amitabh Dubey who leads research for the Congress Party in India. And on July 24th, the OCCRP actually revealed the details of Adani Group's proposal worth $2.5 billion to lease Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for 30 years. And this was approved by the Kenya Airports Authority, even after experts had advised the Kenyan government to put out a public tender to expand the airport. And there had been no public hearing surrounding the proposal, which had been approved to a development phase. And rather, despite the immense public backlash in Kenya, it appears that, the deal is proceeding. So, on August 30th, that is 2024, August 30th, today is Friday, 6th of September, August 30th, Adani Enterprises set up a Kenyan subsidiary, Airport Infrastructure PLC, AIP. You know, that was according to a filing with the National Stock Exchange of India in Mumbai, seen by OCCPR. OCCPR stands for Organized Crime and Corruption. Okay? Are we okay up to that particular point? And despite, you know, on July, actually, I've told you that on July 24th, OCCRP, that is the Organized Crime and Corruption reporting project, it revealed that the details of Adani Group's proposal worth $2.5 billion to lease JKIA for 30 years. And of course, that was, you know, approved by Kenya Airports Authority. And despite the immense public backlash in Kenya, it appears that the deal you know, it proceeded, it went through. And on August 30th, Adani Enterprise set up a Kenyan subsidiary, Airports Infrastructure PLC. And according to a filing with the National Stock Exchange of India in Mumbai. And AIP is actually incorporated to take over, operate, maintain, develop, design, construct, upgrade, modernize, and manage the airports. That is according to the document that was sent. And that is according to the document, 400 and something pages that I've been reading, right? So, other than that, when the Kenyan subsidiary was actually a branch of the Abu Dhabi company and Global Airports Authority LLC that Adani had set up on August 7th. So Adani did not respond to an immediate request for a comment. That is according to OCCRP. So the Kenya Aviation Workers Union has been threatening to strike for weeks in the face of the deal. And on Monday, of course, they staged a 3-hour walkout in advance of reports of Kenyan delegation traveling to India to meet with Adani, and KA could not immediately be reached for a comment by the, that is according to OCCRP. So the following day, I'm reading something here, 16 top Kenyan officials departed for India on a due diligence mission on Adani Holdings' financial records. And the visit actually marked a key step towards finalizing the agreement, which is expected to be completed by November. And the Kenya delegation going to India does not create the right environment for dialogue. I'll tell you that for a fact. On Wednesday, probably this week, the union had a meeting with the Kenya Cabinet Secretary for Labor, Dr. Alfred Mutua, who was alleged trying to plead to, members not to proceed on the strike. He was actually trying to plead with the airport guys working at the airport not to proceed with the strike. But someone called Ndiema told OCCRP that the union the union was not buying it, and were just trying to, they're not going to buy the airport. They're just trying to, they're given a contract to give a facelift of the airport, blah, 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 blah. But we all know what is going on. So I want you guys to talk to me. What do you think? I can see Pedro on the mic. Pedro, good evening. How are you doing today? Talk to us. How offended are you? Pedro, are you there? Apparently, Pedro is not there.
Pedro, can you hear me? No.
You can talk to him again.
Pedro, can you hear us? Okay, you can't hear us. Just a second. Mzalando, I know that we cut you off on the other space quickly, so I've just sent you the mic. If you want to come back and speak to us, we're here.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hi, Pedro.
Yes, can you hear me? Am I audible? Yes, guys.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm very grateful for this chance. And mimi kuna kitu moja nauliza. Like, tumekuwa na so many talks and nothing is happening, you know? Tunafaa we take action. It is not enough. Like, every day we talk about these things and nothing is happening, you know? We need to move. We need to take action. Because tunaweza ongea and hakuna kitu ita happen. It is just empty talks.
Ala,
Oh,
someone's
is he
still
done?
talking?
Or is he done? I think he's done.
Interesting.
Okay, so Pedro, so what do you think we should do then? So what's your suggestion? Pedro, are you able to try him?
All right. As Pedro is still organizing himself and organizing his mic, I want you guys to understand that I want to get you something here, a close, something that I'm reading here. It says, as though many Indian infrastructure companies are operating in other smaller countries, homegrown player GRM operates the Mactan Cebu International Airport in the Philippines and has also bagged deals to operate airports in Greece and Indonesia. Adani's global infrastructure play, especially in ports, in recent years has competed with Chinese investments. It's the first time Adani is stepping into the aviation sector abroad. So probably Kenya, let's put Kenya as abroad according to them. And Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited, the world's largest logistics operator by market value, is either already operating a port or gearing up for it in 4 overseas locations as it tries to challenge China's dominance of the Indian Ocean trade infrastructure. It plans to take over more seaports around the globe, especially in the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia, to transform India into a major trading hub. We are, they say that Adani's expansion into smaller countries also ties into India's push to organize a global south as a bloc of countries. Last year, the African Union formally took its seat as a new member of the G20, of course, G20 summit, at the invitation of summit host Prime Minister Modi. The Adani Group seeks to extend its footprint in Africa through strategic partnerships that align with the local development priorities. It is exploring strategic partnerships with Tanzania. Adani Ports has secured a 30-year concession agreement through its subsidiary, Adani International Ports Holdings Pte. Limited, to operate and manage a container terminal at the Dar es Salaam port in Tanzania. So, what are you guys getting from whatever I'm reading? Because whatever I'm reading is factual. Whatever I'm reading is something that has been confirmed. So this Adani Group thingy is, this company is just trying to, do you see how, do you guys understand how, who's calling me? My mom. Can I pick this call, please? It's important. I'm coming back in a few. Binti, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So just to pick up from where I think Aya was heading, these what you call these guys, the Adani Group, they're literally, their main business in the aviation industry has been internally within India. They don't have any experience with international, like just countries like other than India. So how should we trust that whatever they're intending for us? And by the way, like I said, we had somebody that came on the speakers panel the 3 or 4 days ago that told us the intention within the country. So why should we allow them to bring their domestic expertise to an international level in our country. Like I don't want to be a guinea pig. I don't want our country to be a guinea pig. Please, Pan-African, I can see you're here on the mic. If you just speak to us whilst I gather myself as well, and Ayo comes back. Hi.
Hi, Binti. Hi, Ayo. Hi, KOT, and everybody else who's listening. I hope you're all okay. Well, I'm kind of mad. I'm really, really angry at the moment. And why am I angry? Because I've been looking at what's been happening online, and the first thing that came to my mind was when Nelson Amenya, who was the first whistleblower on this Adani deal, was being attacked, okay, by this person calling themselves Healthcare Solutions. I looked up to them, I looked into them rather, and found out that, they've only got 64 followers. So I thought, well, whatever. But going through the comments, and I love doing this, okay, so I love going through people's responses. And I found out that there's this healthcare, Medihill Hospital, okay, that was there in Kenya. I don't know if it's still there, but I don't know. But anyway, what point is that I've just realized that a lot of healthcare is actually run by Indians. A lot of pharmaceutical organizations are actually run by Indians, and I'm talking about Kenya here. Okay, now this owner of this Medihill, he's actually an Indian-born businessman called Mishra, and he came to Kenya in 1997. Okay, he's a 1964 born person born in India, came to Kenya in 1997, and then in 2017 he was actually elected as an MP. Now, guys, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so this is an Indian who's come all the way, born Indian, come from India, come to Kenya, started his business, his medical business, um, and expanded, became a billionaire in a very, very short time, okay? And then he becomes an MP. I think it's somewhere in Eldoret, okay? He ran, at the time he ran under the Jubilee government. And then he tried to run again, and he won at that time. And then he ran again in 2002 as an independent, and he lost to the UDA candidate. But going through his profile again, I found that he's now joined UGA. Hey, good to him, good for him, whatever. Okay. But my point is, we might be looking at Adani as just one thing, but we need to look at this thing as holistic, where we have the Adani group, which is an Indian group, coming to take our airport. We have the Indians coming and starting medical facilities in Kenya. We are not questioning, okay? They're even becoming MPs. I mean, what's going on? I mean, has Kenya been sold? I don't understand. Anyway, going back to Pedro, I hope he's here. I'm not sure if he's here. Anyway, um, talking about this, we are actually raising awareness. Many people don't understand what's happening. And it's not like we're not doing anything. People are actually doing something. We are actually reaching out to people and sharing information that actually exposes Indians and Adani, okay, and their network, because it's a whole network, and how they operate. If we don't expose these people, if we don't talk about them, nobody's going to know about them. And we'll just assume that everything is fine. No, I'm sorry. No, everything is not fine. Something's wrong. We have doctors in Kenya who can actually run hospitals. We have nurses who are qualified. Why are we letting Indians come and run our healthcare systems? Why are we letting them come and run our airports? I'm sorry, that's not right. Okay, we will encounter individuals who will, yes, refuse to look at, the facts, because these are facts. Okay, we're not making up things here. These are actually facts. And yeah, people will minimize, what's actually been presented. We had Isaac Maura today posting that Adani has a credible track record. I'm sorry, Maura, but no, the track record for Adani is absolutely bullshit. I'm sorry, okay? And on my timeline, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I did write 10 lies, 10 big lies that Adani that they've been exposed to. Okay, they've exaggerated about their economic benefits. They've exaggerated about their environmental track records. I mean, there's countless of lies that these people have done. So I'm sorry, Maura. No, they do not have a credible track record. Okay. Now, for those people who have been attacked, like Nelson, okay, about this Adani deal, yes, people will attack you personally. And people like Morara, who are doing a great job, and everybody else here who's doing a great job, okay, everybody's doing a great job by actually exposing these people, you know. People will actually, they'll attack you. Fine, let them do it, okay? They've chosen to have those as their views, okay, as whatever view they want to have. They've chosen to do that, okay. But we've got to move on, okay. We've got to move on, and every single person, we have to expose them, and this is where technology and right now internet has actually given us a platform to actually expose the corruption, the whatever is happening in Kenya. People didn't have this information 10 years ago, okay, 20 years ago. People didn't have the internet at the tip of their hand. Now we do. We are actually talking about it every day. You guys, man, you know, man, I don't know what to say anymore. But anyway, guys, thank you so much, and well done, Binti and Wanyama, for hosting for your previous space and the continuation. Keep going, and we have to keep going. We can't give up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pan African 254. There's something I want to point out, like from your statement. Like you gave the example of the I think you mentioned his name was Mishra that came in 1997 and is now, an MP or something, has a medical clinic. My question to you is, does this okay, we're against Adani 100%, but are we against naturalization?
No, 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 not at all. We're not against naturalization. But think about it this way, okay? This person, okay, according to the story here, okay, that he came to Kenya with only uh, uh, how much was it? 50,000 Kenyan shillings, okay? Straight from India, okay? Born in India, okay? I don't know. I'm not looked into how people can actually gain naturalization as a Kenyan. Don't forget, okay? People out in the diaspora, they can't even vote as a dual citizen. Okay, right now people are fighting for that. That people say, for example, you live in the UK, you live in the US, that because you've naturalized as a US person or a US citizen or a UK citizen, that you can't vote as a Kenyan. Yet you're born in Kenya, your parents are from Kenya. I'm sorry, it just doesn't add up. They can come in and do business, no problem whatsoever. But giving them such kind of power in their hands, I mean, how much are they going to control? Right now, I think they're actually controlling the government, and this is what scared me. That the government is actually bending to their wishes and their commands. I mean, we heard the guy who opened up the cement in West Pokot, was it the other day, saying that yeah, we should let Ruto run the country for 25 years. No, I'm sorry. Such kind of statements should not be taken lightly. These people, they might want, they are there to actually control the government, to run Kenya. And if we are not careful, we're just gonna sell the country. And I'm sorry, it's already been sold. So we have to be very, very careful.
Okay, thank you for that. I hope you guys were here in a space a few days ago again, where we had somebody from the Indian heritage that came and spoke of how it's sort of it's not nice to see your people getting, like, a whole people getting attacked. Not, I wouldn't say the word attacked, but just getting grouped together like that. Our issue here is this Adani group. We cannot say that it's all Indians, because even the Indians themselves, I don't know if you've seen, they're also against like this whole thing. So we have to stay focused and remember that this is not a personal as such or cultural problem. It's more of the finances of our country, like what's happening to our country, rather than the actual individuals, like the Indians themselves. I hope that makes sense. So I'd like to go to Miriam Rose. Hi, Miriam Rose. Miriam Rose, can you hear me? Okay, Mzalendo, are you here?
Yes, I can hear you well. I can hear you well. Binti Africa.
Perfect. Sorry, we cut you off on a previous space. So just carry on from where you left off. Well, yeah, I think it's still the same crowd.
Okay, thank you so much. Kwa kazi njema mnayoifanya. So, as I was stating earlier, ya kwamba people as provided in Article 1 of the Constitution, whereby we have the right to picket and demonstrate and present a petition to government authorities. I said earlier this morning in Wanyama's space that we need to petition the Embassy of India. Wajue ya kwamba sisi kama Wakenya, sisi kama Wakenya tumechoka na hatutaki Adani Kenya. We need to petition the ministry. We need to petition the Ministry of Transport. Let them know that we know the evils that Adani has done in other countries.
Let's maintain status quo. How is it possible? You know, you remember something you read online, or you read.
Co-host. Ayo, bufunga mic.
Someone is speaking then.
Pole. Lakini Mzalendo, are you not able to find somewhere silent utuongeleshe? Because tunasikia background noise, watoto wanalia, we are confused. Are you able to decide to skia? So you just take your time first. You get a very silent background, then you go to another speaker, if possible. Because background yako iko na vitu mingi sana zinaendelea. Just fix it, then you come back.
I think this background is now cooler.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. We need to tell the ministry or the minister for transport ya kwamba zile deal zote wamefanya Nongwe hazitusaidii. We need to inform the Ministry of Treasury ya kwamba huyu Adani mnaleta hata lipa taxes. We need to tell the Ministry of Environment ya kwamba huyu Adani mumeleta amechafua mazingira kila anakokwenda. We need to tell Parliament ya kwamba you did not conduct any public participation contrary to PPP section 3 subsection 314 that states that before any agreement is made, stakeholders must be consulted, the public must be consulted, and the consumers must be consulted. Ayo, you earlier spoke of Alfred Mutua. I was listening to what Alfred Mutua was talking to the cow. I was ashamed if cabinet secretary anaweza fungua mdomo na aseme hajasoma agreement. Where are we headed? A whole minister anasema sijasoma agreement ya Adani. Na yeye akona watu ambao wanaenda kufutwa kazi. So I'm asking myself, are we having a government working against one another? Ama ni nini? Because Alfred Mutua kama minister wa labor and social justices alifaa kupewa agreement asome, ajue wafanyikazi wa KAU wanakwenda wapi. But hajui. So we are having a government that is working against one another. The other thing that we must stand up against, that this is the Adani that is having 8 of its directors out of 22 who are family members. So we are actually having a threat to the security of to job security in Kenya, because this is a company in a propagate brotherhoodism, inapenda ile, yani wewe nakupea kazi sababu wewe ni mtu wetu. I was in a space juzi mahali mtu alisema ayo ya kwamba tayari the subsidiary that Adani has set in Kenya imeshaanza kazi tayari. He was a worker at the KAU. Anasema hata internship saizi you cannot acquire. So are we going to have a Kenya whereby own citizens who are learned, wenye wamesoma, watakuwa wanafagia kwa airport? We need to stand up and condemn with every tongue possible that the company or the group that the rogue Ruto regime has introduced imekwepa kulipa kodi kwa mataifa kama vile Mauritius, imekwepa kulipa kodi kule United Arab Emirates, imekwepa kulipa kodi kule Caribbean Islands. And this information should get to the Ministry of Treasury and National Coordination, ya kwamba huyu mtu mnaleta hata lipa kodi. The other thing that we must stand up against ni kwamba hii ni kampuni ambayo inafanya several irregularities kwa accounts zake. Mwenye Adani, I cannot recall his name, allow me to refer, anaitwa Kwatara Adani. Akona ndugu yake ambaye anaitwa Rajesh Adani. Huyu Rajesh Adani ameshikwa zaidi ya mara 2 for doing fraudulent operations whereby Rajesh Adani amefanya fraud ya 17 billion that the company could not account for. And then the younger brother, who is a managing director at the group, amekuwa accused and charged in the Supreme Court of India, mark you, for doing what? Akona makampuni 7, haina wafanyikazi, haina physical address, haina phone numbers, but generating revenue and bringing back billions to India. So these are the people that the rogue William Ruto and his cohorts are planning to bring to Kenya. Mtu yeyote ambaye analala na anawacha Adani kuingia katika taifa letu tukufu la Kenya ni msaliti, ni mchawi, na ni mtu ambaye hapendi taifa letu tukufu la Kenya. I participated in the previous demonstrations ayo, but in this one, I am more than ready, I am more than prepared, and I'm saying this: Muindi arudi India, Mkenya ajitawale. That is the theme. We cannot. Tumeona venye Waindi wanatesa wafanyikazi hapa EPZ. Yani mtu ameenda kuomba kazi ya kazi ambayo analipwa 14,000, Muindi analala na yeye. Mark you. Yani Muindi analala na Mkenya ambaye ameenda kutafuta kazi ya 14,000, anampa mimba, amempa kazi ya 14,000, amepewa mimba, akiwa na mimba anafutwa kazi. Is that what we want to have at our airport? And are we keeping quiet? Let us rise up, tell this rogue government, tell this parliament that is rogue, tell the Ministry of Transport that is rogue, tell the Ministry of Treasury that is rogue, that we, the people, are not accepting Adani in Kenya. And as I conclude, let us take petition to the Indian embassy. Huyu ambassador wa India Kenya ajue ya kwamba Wakenya wanakataa taifa lao, kampuni kutoka nchi yao kufanya biashara na sisi. Na tuna outline 10 things why we don't want Adani in Kenya. Na huyu ambassador tunamwambia ya kwamba diplomatic relationship between India and Kenya, akikubali serikali yake ikubali Adani ikuje Kenya, we the people can bring the diplomatic relationships between Kenya and India iharibike. Kwanza hawa Wahindi wamejaa kwetu, wanakaa huku ni kama huku ni kwao, wanatutesa, wanatukalia. Tumwambie tu ya kwamba we are not accepting Adani because of the evils, the atrocities, the irregularities, the breaches that Adani has done that contravene the constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Because maovu yote Adani imefanya. Yes, I'm landing. Maovu yote ambayo Adani imefanya katika mataifa mengine ni kinyume na katiba ya taifa tukufu la Kenya. So we are not supporting Adani, and I'm saying #reject Adani, #stop Adani. Tarehe 11 tupatane, tupeleke petition kwa Indian Embassy, tupeleke petition kwa Ministry of Transport, tupeleke petition kwa Ministry of Treasury, kisha tupange mlolongo vizuri, tujipate JKIA, tukatae ya kwamba tunakataa Adani. Thank you so much. I'm very mad. I'm very fired up. I'm very emotional about this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We want you mad. We want you very mad. Kunywa tu maji, rudi hapa kama bado uko mad. Usishushe hiyo madness. Anaitwaje? Miriam Rose, good evening. How are you doing? Talk to us.
Hi, I'm good, thanks. So, two things. One, I just want to ask. I was in another space, so I am not sure if it was addressed. Is there a court case? Because I don't know why. Forgive me, but I feel like this is such a straightforward case. There's no public participation. If someone goes to court, this can be stayed or at least stopped. So I'm missing something. So maybe someone can clarify to me whether there's a case in court. And if there's any lawyer here, if there's no case in court, is there anyone planning to take a case in court other than the Tony Gashoka? I've seen a petition. Second thing is, I want to reiterate what Binti said. We need to be nuanced about this Indian story. I've heard it, Mzalendo saying, we need to be very nuanced and careful because it can really flip on us really quickly. Because itaanza tu hivyo, alafu sasa tuanze kuflip ya the Kenyan Hindus, or the Hindus, the Kenyan Hindus. And I don't think that's what we want, actually. So I want to caution everyone to be very nuanced about this. We are against Adani and his corrupt deals. We are not against Kenyans, Hindus. And if that's the fight we want to take up, I think there's a space for that, honestly. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miriam. In our previous space, we had somebody called Anthony. I think you just mentioned him. Yeah. So he's got something on his page. I wish he could actually come on this space to speak to us again. But he's got like this petition that they're planning on delivering it like from the other side. So because what he said was that it might be a bit harder from our side, but they think that it can actually stop this deal now from the side of India. So they're going to try and go about it in that direction, and they can even deliver it like in person to the Indian government. If he comes on this space, I will give him the mic to just get a chance to hear him. And it's a legitimate petition, like it's done by lawyers and it's very legal. So I will try and get hold of him and he can come and speak about it. But yeah, thank you. Back to you, Aya.
There's this thing about can you guys hear me?
You're very far from how you were before, but yes.
Let me just turn it. Yeah. I'm going to say there's that thing that you said, Miriam, that I also reiterated in one of the speeches we've had before. Anytime we bring in, like you said, it might flip on us. Anytime we bring in issues now, the issue here is Adani, right? And we need to focus on Adani. because Adani's are individuals like Ayo or KOT. So regardless of where I come from, the problem is me, not my country. Okay. And if there are any Indians that live in Kenya na wanatesa wase, wanafaa kuwasha ripotiwa. So right now, if you bring in, Waindi wanatesa sijui nini, we are losing the plot. And now that comes like, ni kama tunapiga Waindi vita na sound kama we are racists. And those Waindis, they've been helping us build our economy. Let's not forget that. So regardless of what's happening, tunafaa ku fix our eyes on the problem here is Adani Group. Kuleta Waindi kwa nini, sijui Waindi wanaishi Parklands, hizo ni side shows. Unaget? Hizo ni side shows because our wameishi hapa for some time now. Na wameishi na sisi, tusisahau, right? So, na wengine wametu employ. So kama kuna any Indian mwenye ametesa Mkenya, we need those cases in court. Na tuseme, those are labor laws. Those are wame commit labor crimes in a court of law. Sawa? So hawa sasa wanafaa kupikiwa individually. Hafai kuwekwa because mimi ni Muindi na niko na hii issue, nafaa kuwekwa kwa hiyo story ya Adani. So let's focus. It's the same way if a Kenyan goes to the UK today, and the UKians or guys in the English feel Ayo alifanya kitu, Ayo should be held responsible, not other Kenyans in the UK or other Kenyans in Germany, right? So we need to focus on what the problem is, and the problem is Adani Group. So tukienda Waindi wametufanya nini, hiyo tuna lose the plot kabisa. So my job as the co-host is just to bring that sanity. Regardless of us having that uchungu to focus at the end of the day. Let's be rational as much as we can. Does that make sense? To the speaker that spoke about the how Waindi wametutesa nini and all that. So that's another case altogether, and we need to file it and push so that people get equal treatment in terms of labor, employment, and all that kind of stuff. Constantine, naona unawashwa vibaya. Umefungwa tu mic. Talk to me. How are you?
Thanks very much, and thanks to the host. I think the conversation is quite interesting. Allow me first to disagree with you on one thing about the Indians and the scenario, the small background you have given, which is quite objective. But then I'll start by saying the fact that people are raising concern about Indians, it means there's been a story that, excuse me, the society has ignored to address. And so an opportunity has come out, and then people start speaking, right? And so society operates in a very funny way. People can speak because it is the right time to speak. People can fear to speak because they are going to speak against those in power, and it comes with its own implications. And looking at the economy, the industrial aspects, the Indians do control the space. So with all due respect, yeah, I listen to your opinion and I respect it and I like it. But then it goes without saying there is issues about Indians that needs to be addressed. And Adani has just brought that face out publicly. Now, on the issue about the airport, it's quite unfortunate that Kenyans really don't understand it. And I like the fact that Ayo has raised various issues to look at. Issues environment, issues labor, issues security, issues around nepotism. Those are the realities that Kenyans needs to start addressing one by one, by the fact that this fella will be given a mandate to run our airport and the chaos that is bringing in. But then looking at how, for me personally, I feel addressing this issue, one, we can go through the Indian embassy, file a case, seek audience with them. But number two, I think it has been approved but through the parliament. Why do we give MPs a lot of time to pass these, excuse me for my sore throat, pass these thoughtful and reflected deals, thinking that they're helping the country, but then they help themselves? We need to start looking at our MPs and putting them to account. I like what the Gen Z started. kusalimia MPs. But I thought that was not enough. Ruto is enjoying all these freedoms simply because we've allowed the MPs to protect him. So if you really want to fix Ruto, let's fix our MPs. Let's start dealing with them one by one, asking them the right questions. Why will somebody represent, for example, Busia and living in Nairobi as an MP, and they're entitled to mileage? Go stay in Busia. We should literally chase them. Go back to Busia, start working in Busia. When you're needed in parliament, come back to parliament. Such issues as Adani will definitely disappear. That's my thought. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I've heard you guys, and I completely agree with you. Completely. By this Jakarta, I completely agree with you. However, to utter the way Binti explained it, yes, I understand that these are the micro issues that have been happening that have never ever been, handled in an appropriate way. Probably because we've been speaking, but nobody has ever taken up this issue and said, "Yo, why do you want to tumiza hii Kenya?" Unaget? And I'm like, it's important also to bring it up, but is that the main topic of the day? And has it ever been raised in a court of law? And kama saizi watu wanapiga kelele juu ya history ya Adani, have you ever come together as a country and said no to bad labor laws, or rather punitive labor laws from these other races? Unaget? It's something that we've never, as much as people complain chini ya maji. It's like for example history is Saudi Arabia. Our girls going to Saudi Arabia wanarudi in body bags, wengine wanauliwa, wengine wanatritiwa vibaya, wengine wananyang'anywa simu. What is our government doing about it? Have we made noise enough? Unaget? So my main point was, I do not agree. I do not sikatai ati hizo vitu hazifanyiki. Yes, zinafanyika. But have we ever come to speak in unison and say, guys, watoto wanaumia, juu watu wanatutesa, and what is the government doing about it? However, now that we are trying to focus on this airport thingy, then those are, na feel ni kama hizo ni sub. Unaget? Sijui kama unanipata from where I'm reasoning. Like, can you get my point of reasoning? That's what I was thinking. Let's not bring in that issue right now. Of course, we can handle it at a later date, because right now we are focusing on this. It doesn't mean that is of a lesser magnitude, but you understand? Come on, that makes sense. Miriam Rose, your hand is up. Go ahead, please.
I was even just about to put it down because what you said and what Constantine said is everything I was gonna say. But we seriously need to be careful because words spoken can't be taken. We just need to be balanced about the issues we are putting. Tukieka blanket statements carelessly, itatumiza later. That's just what I was trying also to say. Like, no one is saying they don't do those things, and it's true this is an opportunity for those things to be raised. But when someone is putting across words and statements, they just need to not be blanket. They need to be nuanced. That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Sawa sawa, asante sana, Miriam Rose. Chris, please mute your mic. We'll come to you very shortly. We're here to talk about Adani. Guys, if you have not tweeted in the last 10 minutes, I am guilty of that. I'm going to go and tweet now and use the hashtag stop Adani. We can't let this hashtag fall down. So go right now on your TLs, just make a tweet using the hashtag stop Adani. Skeptic African, hi.
Hello, hi.
Hi. Bad evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you? I'm good.
I am not good. I'm offended. Talk to us.
I'm really pissed off. Actually, I talked in the morning through the Wanyama space. I'm gonna add this. In the morning, I talked about what's happening in our JKIA and how yesterday Alfred Mutua tried to convince the workers of the JKIA. So, a question is this: like, how are you coming to convince us that we will sort out? How are you gonna sort out? Yes, yet you've just solved it, right? Yeah. Another point is our president going to China to ask for loans. So this means that our president is going to ask for loans from China. At the same time, is gonna get these guys from China to come and work. Like they're the employees of the work that's gonna be done here in Kenya. So if the loan is gonna be used to build roads, nini easy kwa villages, like the way he said. So most probably the Chinese are the ones to get the contract. That's 100%. So that's just like you're borrowing funds and knowledge. Like, so what are we going to school to do? Yeah, what are we going to do? So tunaenda shule tunaambiwa kama ujui mtu, like if you don't know someone who knows someone, then you have no job. What's the purpose of learning then? Ndio tuko na papers, like tuko na madegree kwa nyumba. So what? Like tunafanyia nini? If we don't fight, like why are we nonchalant when everything is not going our way, like the way it should be? This thing again about the nimeona DP like Rigathi donate rice to the citizens. So my point is, how many acres of land do we have in Kenya such that the government is donating food to the Kenyans? Don't we have farms to kulima? Why are we like? I saw a certain video concerning the GMO seeds, so I'll share that video here. How GMO food looks like. You'll not like it, I promise you. Tomorrow is on a weekend. I urge each and everyone, kama uko like kama una kazi, obviously weekend ni like most of the people are gonna relax, right? So I urge everyone, mtu kama uko reserve, ensure umeenda mahali. Talk to the people, ongelesha watu what's happening in our country. If we don't fight right now, then we're gonna lose this and we're gonna lose our lives forever. There's a say that if we don't handle our independence very well, colonizers will come back in form of investors. That's the say of Simon Mwanza. If we don't handle our independence very well, colonizers will come back in form of investors. Very, very nice one. Very nice quote. Kila mtu. What's happening in our country is not like, it's nothing to joke about. Like Ruto kwanza tulienda like the other time tulisema occupy JKIA. Ruto akakuja address nation akasema we are not selling JKIA. Juzi akiwa Kisumu akasema, am I mad to sell JKIA? So what's he gonna tell us this time? JKIA is being sold out. What does he say? Like akona nini ya kutuambia this time? Just like uneducated people when you wako serikalini wana try to just taking us like I don't get it. Like these people, uneducated people wanakuja wanatubeba kiufala, just lying to us, broad daylight, lying to us in facts, mpaka hata kuna evidence na wanatudanganya. Are we fools? Like, and the Kenyans just like wako sawa tu na what's happening. Let's wake up, my guys. Let's wake up. What's not happening? Shit. Anyway, sorry guys. Let me drop the mic for now. I'm just pissed off, really pissed off. I'll talk later.
Bro, ni sawa kuget pissed off. Mimi kwanza nasikia vizuri mkiudhika hivyo. Ndele muudhika kabisa. Mimi nataka muendelee kuudhika. Nifanye nini tena niwaudhi? Kwa sababu nataka muendelee kuudhika hivyo. Hiyo hadi ukas. I'm liking the fact that you're pissed off. Please let us keep on the pissed offiness, if that makes sense. And I completely understand you, bro. So usijali. Pia mimi nimudhika tu ka wewe.
What I just need to do is like you guys, kama tu unajua uko reserve, like uko where you can access reserve, just go and talk to like these elderly people. Hao watu wamedanganywa bana since 1990s bana. Like wako tu nonchalant, wako sawa na kila kitu. So I urge you guys, just kesho, tomorrow is on Saturday and Sunday. I urge kila mtu, like whoever you know what's happening in our country, right? So just spread the gospel of good governance. And waelezea say what's happening. Yeah, I'll talk later.
Sawa sawa. Wanda, good evening. Are you there?
I am. Good evening. What is happening at JKIA is even worse than what we were pushing the finance bill and such stuff. It's worse. If you ask someone from outside, they'll tell you the reason why Kenya is a special country is because of that gateway. That the JKIA, that JKIA that we have makes people from outside, investors from outside, or any other person from outside prefer passing through Kenya, so that for them to explore or for them to explore the interior of the Eastern Africa, which is about 500 plus million of people, then lazima watu hiyo JKIA to make it. That's why we are considered as a gateway in Eastern Africa. Now, if we give out the key of that gate to a foreigner, someone from outside, sasa tunabaki na nini? Na tunawachia wale watoto wetu na watoto wetu tunawachia ni vitu gani? It always starts, ni kama hii ni ile nye mtu anajaribu kidogo. Leo wamejaribu kidogo JKIA, kesho sijui watagusa gani. Then if you listen keenly or if you make a keen look, utakuta the Adani team, they are talking of the adjacent lands, I don't know, 28 acres, sijui wajenge hoteli, sijui wafanye nini. So it's ni kama wanauza tu sasa. And if we don't wake up to this one, then tunapoteza sasa. That what we are crying and pushing ile wakati wa finance bill, the energy that was used probably should be even the double wakati tunapushi. Sababu wakati tunaachilia, look at this airport. Tukiachilia hivyo, kesho tutakontrol aje hizi drugs. Kesho tutakontrol aje sijui hizi the wildlife hizi, hawa watu wanaua hawa wanyama sijui na nini tunapatia foreigner control hiyo vitu. Sasa kesho hiyo airport, wakati watoto wetu na ndugu zetu watatolewa pale, kuwekwe pale foreigners, na huyo mtu ako na right umempatia afanye hiyo venye anataka kufanya. So what are we going to do? Unless we demand hivi tuitolewe na kukae sawa, then tunaharibu. Kibaki wakati Mtunga ndiye alikuwa awe CJ, wakati Kibaki alijaribu kufanya ujanja wake, I remember ikikataliwa tu kwamba no, sio hivyo, then akareverse kwamba alikuwa amepitisha vitu fulani vyenye amepitisha, lakini ilivyokataliwa watu wakawa hapana, akabadilisha. Kama finance bill ya jamaa walikuwa wanapush wanavyotaka na ikafika mahali wakabadilisha, then this one we need to put a stop to it, because this one is even now worse. Tuwezi tukaachia funguo ya gate ule mtu kutoka nje, na kwao huko nyumbani watu wanaandamana wakilia hawamtaki. Sasa wewe mtu akukatae kwenu nyumbani, alafu jirani anakukaribisha na unakimbia huko, na watoto wa jirani wanafurahi tu ama wanalialia tu ati huyu mtu alikuwa anasumbua huko kwao akichapa sijui watoto akifanya nini, lakini baba na mama wamemleta, acha tu basi akae. No. There are times when if dad and mom does things that are not okay, mnakataa kama watoto na mnakataa. Sababu at the end of the day nyumba ni ya kwenu, pale ni kwenu. Yeah, no, I'm pissed. I'm not happy with this. I've not been finding time, or probably I've been just walking into these spaces, listen and march out. But this one, imenifikia kidogo. Because if you look at the impact of losing the gateway of Eastern Africa to a foreign land, to a foreign investor, then this is worse. Afadhali tusanye pesa, tufanye hiyo vitu to renovate kama wanataka. But losing it, it's no. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wanda. You're very right. We call Kenya Airways the pride of Africa. Kenya Airways operates mainly from JKIA. We are the connecting hub for a lot of the countries around us. We cannot let that go. In 30 years, do you know how old I'll be in 30? I'll be a grandmother in 30 years. Please, these guys cannot last there that long. We can't even let them enter in the first place. The El Shafi, Fee. Can you hear me? The El Shafi? No? Okay. Salome. Salome Shiro. Salome? Hi, can you hear me? I can see your hand is up. Please speak to us. Okay. Ayo, can you hear me? Amani Mimi.
Nakusikia, sijui kwa nini wasaws. Wait, you guys, can you hear Binti speaking? MMESQ. Hii jina yako inanipatianga pressure. MMESQ, unaweza nisikia?
Nakusikia yo.
Aya, naitwaje? Fly High, unaweza nisikia?
Ayo ni aje, nakusikia fiti.
Mnaweza sikia Binti akiongea?
Pia Binti namsikia.
Ala. Okay, Binti, I think wewe mwenye ulikuwa mita kwanza ndio anaweza kukusikia. So you can go ahead. Nikawa naweza kusikia. Go ahead, Binti.
Okay, so then let's just go with you said it's MMSQ.
MMESQ. Hiyo jina unipatia pressure.
Hiyo ESQ ni kama kusema Mr. Ni vakoti ya ujanjezi ya kusema Mr. Ni Esquire.
Oh, Mr. ni Esquire.
Yes. Hiyo ESQ ni Esquire.
Esquire, please go ahead.
Let me explain to you. All of you are wrong. So Esquire is a self-proclaimed council or something of the sort. MM ni short form ya jina yangu, naitwa Mike Matanga. Hiyo ndio jina yangu. So I just said MM Esquire instead of Mike Matanga Esquire. So
and you said Esquire is?
Esquire is like a kind of a self-proclaimed council, like someone in the legal field mwenye anajiona yeye anajua kila kitu. So it's Esquire.
So endelea Mr. MMM Esquire.
So in short unajiona unajua kila kitu lakini hujui anything. That is what you're trying to say. I'm using your words against you.
Okay. After nimemaliza kuongea, sasa utaniambia kama najifanya najua kila kitu ama najua kila kitu.
Nice one. Go ahead, please.
So let me go to the topic, about JKIA. Nimesikia msa akiongelea, okay, most of us, our argument that JKIA should not be sold is on the basis that it's a critical infrastructure. Like that's the gateway in terms of security and everything. There's this another aspect of JKIA, yenye nime realized during my research. You guys, do you know how valuable JKIA is? Actually, JKIA estimated value, like asset value at JKIA is 1.1 trillion. 1.1 trillion is roughly 10% of Kenya's asset. So that means Ruto anauza 10% of Kenya, literally, in terms of asset. Anauziana. And I don't understand why people are arguing. They're giving us that the reason why they want to give Adani this JKIA, it's because JKIA cannot raise its own money ya improve in terms of its own infrastructure or something. You know what's going on here in JKIA? Si ati hakuna pesa. There is money. A land peke yake huko mali unaona watu wameka maduka manini JKIA. And I'm talking about the report from the Ministry of Land. An acre of land in JKIA, it gives JKIA a revenue of up to 7.5 million per year. Do you know how much land JKIA has? More than 11,000. So that means JKIA inaweza jisustain, JKIA can inaweza raise money ya kutengeneza infrastructures wanatuambia. So what's going around here, these people, they're trying to pay their political debt pesa walipatiwa time ya campaign. I don't want to dig much about Adani because that's the last thing niliongelea the other time about Adani. Because Adani here inatumika kuficha pesa and everything. So as much as tunataka tuangalia Adani in terms of how critical JKIA is to our security, also let us think of it in terms of how much value, in terms of being an asset, JKIA is to Kenya. Now, ujue JKIA and Kenya Airways are different because I had someone arguing somewhat JKIA and Airways, Kenya Airways, they're two different government entities. Kenya Airways iko kivyake, JKIA iko kivyake. And once Adani takes over JKIA, that means even Kenya Airways will start now paying to Adani. So zile loss Kenya Airways inaenda, we expect the losses to be more because itakuwa imeongezea another cost of paying the Adanis. So you guys, we are losing 10% of our country. Like 10% of our country, of our country's asset, we are losing. So hizi tukisema Kenya kwe shut down, JKIA inaweza tupeleka to survive for like 10%. That is something that it's being sold. And what you should know about Adani, there's a time ayo aliuliza swali mbona tusiende these the Kinarutos and everyone. My concern about Adani is that ukiangalia their history, even in India, mongelea about them. There's a time the guys that were given to take over, I think there were 6 airports in India. Ukiangalia their history, all governments zimekuwa zikiside na wao. Not government by those people in power, because these people, they fund these people to get into power. The same case in apply in Australia. Even that story of coal in Australia. Yes, people complain, but the government, their hands were tied. The government could not chase Adani away. The same case is happening in India. And I'm fearful because in India, there was even a petition to the Supreme Court of India, and the court still ruled in favor of Adani. Imambo ya take over the airports and everything. And I'm also starting to be fearful via in Kenya, even to kinezanza your petition, if ikiuko bado Supreme Court rule in favor of the government and Adani. So the only way we can stop this thing to happen, occupying JKIA. Let us make JKIA very hostile for Adani to come and occupy it. That is the only solution. I drop the mic for now.
Skiza, I completely agree with you. Nimekusikia tena kwa makini na by the way, hiyo SQ. It was 100%. Kitu nasema ni, of course, JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, is a completely different entity from KQ, Kenya Airways, right? So JKIA iko operated na Kenya Airports Authority. Am I right up to that point? Exactly. Thank you for the 100. So Kenya Airports Authority ina own JKIA, but I own KQ. So KQ is a different entity altogether. Ni ya wa Kenya. JKIA ni ya wa Kenya. Una get? And it's not a private property. It's a public property. JKIA, KAA, all those are private, are public companies and public properties, right? So where KQ comes in is because KQ is owned by the government. Is it owned by the government of Kenya? I stand to be corrected. Kenya Airways, is it owned by the government of Kenya? If it is, that means KQ, JKIA, and Kenya Airports Authority are in the same koso mob. Would I get? They're in the same cup. And if we allow this to go through, that means the Adani group might end up owning all these, and Kenyans who are baki hapo ni kama. I think that is what alikuwa anajaribu ku explain, if I got him right. And that means we start to lose the major, because I'll tell you for a fact, the amount of revenue raised at JKIA in a day, in terms of other aeroplanes getting to land, lazima walipe do ndio wa land, kama mkuwaijua. The amount of goods that cargo that are brought into Kenya, biashara ni domob sana. The amount of taxes that are being collected, like foreign exchange from different countries, whereby tourists wakikam in to Kenya, wanna bring in foreign exchange mob sana, like wanaleta do mob sana. So we need to put that into our arguments to kifikiria hii story. So we stand to lose a lot, just as MM just said. So I think I just wanted to make that clear. If any of you didn't get that right, if you have to make anything more clearer, MM, before I go to Fly High, are we okay up to that point?
I'm okay up to that point. If I have anything, I'll just tell you. But for now, I'm
Sound.
okay.
Very nice. Fly High, good evening. Talk to us. Fly High, your hand is up. Can you hear me? If Fly High is not ready, I'm going to go to Salome. Salome, you were here earlier. Atuko tunaweza kusikia. Na uli drop. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Binti.
Hello, everyone. Do you hear
Okay.
me?
Go ahead, please, Salome. I can hear you 100% clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I think JKIA, that it have its operators, yes. The guidance of JKIA is KAA, Kenya Airport Authority, is the owner and operator of 9 civilians airports, airstrips in Kenya. I think we should understand that. That's how it's go.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is Salome still speaking, Kosimski?
I think she's speaking, but I can't see her either. Salome, just drop
I'm
and
a
then
drop.
up.
I'm a drop.
Oh, okay.
I'm a drop. Josephine, good evening. If you can hear me. Josephine? Okay, what will nisiki kwa hii space? Hong
But let me
Kong.
try. Josephine, can you hear us? Okay, she's dropped even, so nope. Sorry, Ayo, carry on.
Binti nakusikia, Ayo nakusikia.
Na mbona nakuita na usikii? Na respond.
Oh, siku
na meza ugali.
Mtu wangu.
Una meza ugali hadi unisikii mzae na mimi niko njaa. Ala.
Huku brother
Speak to us.
Ni aje wadau, pole sana. Pole I couldn't hear you. Actually, I'd put Nini briefly on mute to answer a call. So, me kitu naniwasha about history JKIA ni moja. Generally speaking, I'm asking myself, don't we have any legal recourse as the citizens of this country? Because you can be sure hii kitu hajafuata the required process. So I'm asking myself, are we saying that there is no way we can be able to challenge this thing in court? You know, the other thing I've realized ni kwamba the same thing I was saying the other day. We are fighting these battles alone, and I don't think that should be the case. Just in some document on X, purportedly some sort of suit that has been lodged into to try and stop this thing. But hata vile inakaa ni kama bado kuna mali, hata vile wamekuot history ya Adani already kuna typographic errors. I don't know. The way I'm looking at this thing is this. If there was the way Morara is doing whatever he's doing, why can't we come up with like watu wala wako into stories za ujenzi, watu wa aviation, guys who are accountants, guys who are development economists? Why can't we come up with like alternative development plans for this country that can show how these assets don't have to be parceled out the way they are? Like I like what Wanjigi does when he goes and gives figures. He may have his own motives for doing so, but the thing is, as it stands, we've not really been discussing this thing with what is the alternative. You know, it's one thing to say these guys are stealing from us, but what is the alternative? You understand? Because what these guys keep doing is telling us, oh, we need a second runway. Oh, and funny enough, Adani is not giving us a second runway. They're doing like the minimum. They're giving us things called rapid exit taxiways. So you're thinking, the thing that we need the most in JKIA is an alternative runway, even with RETs. If there's an incident on the runway, if you have a runway, and again, runway or anything of the sort, the airport effectively shuts down. And what we want is another runway so that in the rare case that we should have some sort of event on the main runway 06, at least we've got an alternative. The whole point of having another runway built is that we can expand the airport around that. We can have new terminals. You get? We can be able to spark like a whole sector. I like the person who was talking about the fact that the airport itself is extremely valuable. So I'm asking myself, the amount for which it is being leased versus the actual value of the property. Your ratio makes sense clearly, Then I'm asking myself, are we saying that if we did incremental development over the next 10 years, we cannot be able to realize the value that Adani wants to give us? You understand? Anytime you're concessioning an asset like that, be assured that the value is going to be extracted is going to be greater than what will be taken will be far greater than what we'll benefit from. So and for me, I think it's also a matter of our pride. How do you give? In India, guys are protesting about this company. Then you've got guys here going to do due diligence in India. What do you mean due diligence in India? Due diligence has been done for you. Even the Indian Congress itself is saying, anyways. Unaenda huko vile kuja maito Ivano nini yuko TikTok unajua mtaani ni kunoma. Jamani kwamba chorea bana hiyo base mras manzata kuteka. Na ndio unaenda kuinvestigate huko sasa. Mras unataka kuja manage maneno yako. Akwa security yako akotia kwa anachunga mtaa. Msi hiyo siku ndio utaona vile hujawahi hiyo. Hiyo siku watu watakuwa top shot mtaani nzima. That's what the guy said. But you go check that guy out. It's very interesting. This is the reality. We can't have this whole policy that we have as a country of tumetulia sana, and we've adopted a very interesting perspective. We are all going to occupy JKIA. What are we to occupy JKIA? What feasibly are we doing? It's not like we're stopping flight operations. It's not like we are in any way impeding on the operations of the airport. To occupy, how long can we stay there? There's someone who said this in terms of war. Okay, amateurs discuss tactics, professionals discuss logistics. Because if an army is on the ground, sawa, you'll go onto the ground and mtapigana. Where is your water so you can keep fighting? Wapi risasi za kuristock after mshamalizile before you finish your supplies? How are you able to keep your men actively supplied so that the pace of war does not stop? Ama the momentum haisimami. Unaelewa? So a lot of times you talk about, let's go and occupy JKIA. But we're going to go home in the evening. And guess what? People will catch their flights. The following morning, kabla ubabile zote kuja JKIA tena. No one is going to report to work. No one is going to come to JKIA like they're going to work. In other words, what I'm trying to say is we've been discussing tactics for a very long time. If we were serious, we should be talking about logistics of sustaining something like that. That's when now you're talking serious business. Otherwise, kuna tu kwa hivyo tu hiyo ni kwa kweli, we've already done that whole thing ya kutokea. And we saw how for as long as those guys felt that they could contain us, as long as they knew by 6 p.m. tumetoka, hakuwa na shida. You understand? Something sustained requires a lot of thought. This is what I want us to do. I want us to start producing alternative narratives for development for this country to counter the nonsense that these thieves are giving us. Because niwezi. And they have no pride in themselves. They have no national pride. Yani mtu nakataliwa kwa unamchukuaje huko manage affairs zako. What do you mean? And they will continue telling us stories. Watatuambia airport lazima me angalia mtu kama government spokesman. Paul, I'm going to land this very quickly. Government spokesman anajaribu ku defend the indefensible. You can't defend that level of theft. It's almost like when you get into this government, you have to leave your brain at the door. It's ridiculous. And if you ask me, sisi tuko na akili. We need to be able to control the narrative about the situations of corruption in this country. That's what Morara is doing. Morara decided, fine, you guys are telling us you're launching projects. You want to see sijui nini and nini is happening. You want to show us the way to this development because you're launching projects. He said, Sasa, let's see the ones you've launched where they are right now. You to know where this trajectory of yours is going. And true to form now, these guys are trying to control the narrative, saying that the government will audit the projects ambazo wameinitiate. Mpaka unashindwa, serikali kwani ilikuwa launch project bila project management plan? You get? You have a project plan, you've got your timelines. Contractor is raising certificates after reaching particular milestones. So this whole idea that the government is going to audit the project naenda is actually bullshit, if you ask me. Ni upuzi tu tunapakwa tu, where I come from, we say hakoma shuru, unapakwa mauji. Naona? It's ridiculous. Mimi ndasho kitu moja. We have to take control of the narrative. For as long as the hunter writes the narrative, yes, naland. For as long as the hunter ndio anaandika the story, the man will always be the victor. It won't be the lion. So they've taken control of the narrative. So we must take it back and counter with facts. Morara ameshaanza. Now us guys should come back with how can we should present an alternative development plan for this country. Ndivyo watu wacha kutupanga mafala, and we disseminate that everywhere, all platforms. So that when they tell us we need the airport to be built, to tell them no, we can build it this way. So this path you're taking us on is clearly stupid. Ni hayo tu kwa sasa, wasikilizaji wenza. Santeni. Oh, I rest my case.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fly High. I wanted to just correct something I think you said there. So with this, okay, first of all, before I even say anything, I'm looking at if you look on the Jumbotron, the first thing that I posted up, a tweet from Wanyama. It's a Google Drive, like with 2 documents. I'm looking at the one that's labeled feasibility report or something like that, and I'm on page 167. So with this model they're trying to impose, it's gonna have okay, let's just say it's 0 to 3, so basically 4 phases, and right now we're in phase 0. So this phase 0 is meant to end 2026, end of 2026, beginning of 2027, and then that's where you're saying that they're meant to get these 2 rapid exit taxiways from runway 06/24, and you can even see the whatever, like the proposed, like what it's going to look like in that image there if you're following through. Then they start phase 1, and then that's when they're focusing on the terminal building itself. Phase 2, now this is when they introduce like a second runway, and their intention with this is to increase the traffic. So you have this area in between 2 runways that's called the transgression zone, I think it's called. And what that area allows you to do is to have like maybe more than 1 plane taking off at the same time. So like one on one runway, the other one at the other runway, or landing 1 plane on one runway, the other on the other runway. And they've done it in a way that the distance between it will allow exactly like for that operation. So the issue isn't that they're going to or planning on building these, whether it's runways or terminal buildings or whatever. I read that they're going to have the upstairs for international domestic arrivals, the other one for international domestic departures or whatever it is. So that's not the problem. The problem is, do we not have the manpower to be able to carry out these like construction things? Like we're Kenyans, we're smart, we have people that can do all this manual labor. We are able to carry out this job ourselves. And looking at the terms and conditions, that's the problem. The problem isn't that what they're promising on doing. It's just, why are they the ones that are doing it? We can do this ourselves. We can raise money ourselves, pay our own taxes. Why are they the ones that are coming in? Anyways, I hope that makes sense. Fly High. Like I said, that document is in the Jumbotron. Go to page 167, and just go down there. You can see the proposed plans. Okay, so for now we'll go to Mweru. Hi, Mweru. Mweru, can you hear me? Hey, okay. Josephine, hi, you're back. Can you hear me now? Josephine.
Josephine, unasikia binti? Yes, I can hear you. How are you? Can you hear me?
Very offended, actually. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. And you?
Me, I'm offended.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm sorry you should not get offended. It's only that you couldn't hear me well. And the phone was a little bit far. Now so I had to come up and pick it. I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry also, I apologize to the fellow Kenyans, wherever you are. Good evening once again. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, KOT, Ayo, and Binti. I really appreciate. Sorry. I need to submit as follows regarding our country and our international airport. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And this is the truth that each and every Kenyan would want to come out and speak about it, because this is our airport. Sorry. Na sio tafadhali. For the first thing, I want you guys to retrieve back at your mind. And since when we got independence, remember for the first time our country, the airport was on blackout. It's when Kipchumba Murkomen became the waziri. What does that tell you? Not once, not twice. Again, the only time we have seen our airport leak is when Kipchumba Murkomen was the CS. Why has it not been happening all years back? And now they are coming here to tell us because we are not able to sustain our airport, it has to be given to Siyu Kidanani. Fellow Kenyans, what I'm saying is very simple. Let those Adani whatever take our airport at their own risk. But we are not going to allow them. We need to stand firm and amplify this and say we are not going to allow them even to do a single thing in our airport. Every other day, if they take it, we will be there with them so that they can know that they will not do anything in our country. And that is the only thing we can do, and I keep on amplifying this. I beg to differ with Mr. MM for saying that we start contributing to rebuild, yet we are actually paying taxes day in, day out. And now we start saying we go and contribute so that we start working on to repair our own airport. Let our monies do that. Our role and our duty is to supervise the government which is in office, which we elected and it disappointed us to do what they are supposed to do. And if they can't, let them pack and go. The country belongs to us, and they can resign and they give us an opportunity to elect other leaders who can run our country. But saying we go and contribute, yet we are paying taxes hurriedly. We are even not, we barely cannot feed our own selves. We cannot feed our own children because we are already contributing, and then now we start saying tuanze kuchanga again. Guys, I don't think that's the right direction. We need to speak out clearly so that everyone hears what they need to hear and know that it's our responsibility. Empower circle. Like here now we are around 103, I think 203 or something. If you talk to 3 people or 10 people around you and make them understand this issue, everybody will stand firm, and we are going to amplify this, and we will find ourselves even 1,000, 2,000 in this space, trying to say that we are amplifying this. Our airport, it has to be retained. We do not want to sell our airport to anybody. We do not want to rent our airport to anybody. I think that's very key to me. And if we are agreeable, we can do all what it takes to ensure that at least everybody comes together with 4 to 5 people. And with that, we shall ensure that actually we amplify our voices and we have to be heard. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Once I think again, I'll request. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Josephine, for always coming on the mic. And yes, we're paying taxes, guys. So, hey. Anyways, let's go to Mweru. Mweru, can you hear me now? I tried it before, but I'm not sure if you're on the mic.
Yeah, I hear you now. Sorry about that. I didn't. I just wanted to give people an update because according to this deal, and I appreciate what you guys have been doing today. You guys have dedicated the whole day to push this agenda and make sure the hashtag is, trending. So I wanted to give you guys an update. I posted on the comment section the petition that the team of lawyers in Kenya were doing pro bono work to compile a petition, and they will petition in India to the opposition party and to the High Commission of India. So I posted it. So all you guys need to do is just read it first and then retweet. You don't have to retweet, but please at least read it. Because they really mostly based the petition on the fact that on page 135 of this proposal, they claim that there's supposed to be public participation and it didn't occur. So they're objecting and they're hoping that, I mean, we have to do what we have to do at this point. So this is one initiative that I really like that some of the lawyers in Kenya came up with. So if you don't mind, read it and retweet. Also, I'm waiting for a confirmation that one of the news stations in India is going to cover the petition and also the protest. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But we cannot give up. We have to fight these people 100%. We cannot just sit and take this. We can tell all this has been highly manipulated, even the fact that there's leaks in the airport and blackouts. And we know all this is just a scheme. So we're not going to fall for it. So I agree with KOT and the rest of you that are organizing the protests. We have to protest. The more we push this hashtag, they're paying attention. And the bad publicity they're getting from this, they're paying attention. And the protests too as well, that is going to help. But we cannot give up and sit down and resign ourselves to this. No, we won't accept this nonsense. We're already generating enough revenue. Okay, the airport itself is generating enough revenue by itself. So we don't need this Adani people coming. And it's very crazy that they have the nerve to make a deal where they insist that we grant them visas for them and their dependents. And they're not even telling us how many people they're actually going to bring. So we're just giving them an open space. We give them the airport, and they'll bring in whoever they want and how many of them. And we just grant them visas and work permits. And they'll be in this anyway. So I just wanted to give you guys an update in that regard. That is still being worked on, and the status of the petition. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Maru. I've put that petition on the Jumbotron as well, and that's the one I was saying that they're gonna try to also petition it, may I say, from the Indian government side. So rather than us doing it through our lawyers and our governments, because they seem to be very useless, not the lawyers, just the government, we'll try and go through the Indian government side and stop it from that side of the spectrum. Okay. And also, yes, please keep us updated on that coverage if you're able to, please. Thank you. I will go to the El Shafei. Shafei?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Bad evening to you too.
Yeah, I just have just few remarks to put on across, and I wouldn't put in a point form, but just a spoken word. And with this, it has a title called "What's Left for Us." So, in the upbringing for us as the youth of today, too many hardships, just like a cargo ship being steered by a group of sheep. Until place tumefika ni God. We are yet to live our lives to a life we desired that our parents only foresaw as a dream. Even though wazazi walituficha from the truth, knowing better that a prophet of doom and lies will emerge, only scratching lies from his body ndio wapate flies kama followers. Wenyewe wahenga na walevi walipopatana walimaka na kusema, ongea ukweli ulale njaa. Sisi ndio maslave kwa hii prison full of kunguni, ready to suck you bila huruma, bila kujali sacks umevaa. Mtukufu lies as they said, abductions zime happen out of the blue. Stating mission is the king. Hii ilikuwa vision ya kipofu ambaye hawezi ongea. Cause of the empty stomach, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. but the statement imekuwa diverted different sana. Caesar amegeuka mkoloni maskini, akuibie, akujengee na bado akuuzie. Yaitwa ukoloni mambo kesho. Caesar zilitumika kumchuja Kaiseri ndiposa Zakayo akazaliwa. Mkombozi wa ongo, uongo mwingi, manifesto bure na kadhalika. Zakayo shuka ilikuwa maombi ya mapadri wenye wamejaza vitambi na taxpayers money. Utumishi kwa wote iligeuka utumishi kwa wote wenye hela. Makanisa yameoza ni venye tu hatujasikia uvundo, but it's there in our own naked eyes. Though bishop na pastors wako na vitambi kushinda Asha na Treasure. We only treasure our stomachs rather than our tomorrow. Courts have lost to a ruler who is clueless where power comes from. They say the system is rigged, but hata Rigathi alitaka kuchagua system yake, mikosi ya mrima inamuandama. What is left for us? Nauliza. What is left for us if our own leaders wanatuuza kama njugu karanga kwa streets, kanjo kitokea inakuwa sherehe kwa wapita njia? Our futures are stolen by the system, but not yet. They are not sunken into darkness. Inabidi mimi na wewe tusimame tisti kama karao wa traffic akifinyiwa chwani kwa mkono. We don't have enough time cause shida haiwezi isha. The only time we have is now. Mtukufu Lais, you have done enough for us of zero benefit cause all these only fits in your stomach. The system sucks every time cause how on earth mafuriko yamejaa ilhali unapatia watu msaada wa mchele na maharagwe. Enyewe hii ni jela. Ni venye wengi wetu we are so blindly folded with the sympathy na machozi ya fisi anapolia kiu. A new regime is coming. Fagia upesi upesi. Hata kama haraka haina baraka. Hiyo haraka ndio nguzo yetu. There's no even land to till for us to have food, only praying for good governance. Ndio tuweze kuishi vipoa. Which doctors are advertising jobs whereby hata kazi zao hazina wateja. Conmen, kila kuchao. Heri niende prison, mahali sina majukumu, just only my stomach to feed. Life imekuwa hard to an extent. Hoka anauzia hoka mwenzake, being hustlers in our own productivity. Na activities zinaendelea usiku ni chafu, mchana utaambiwa manifesto na propaganda za kutenga. Enyewe tumetengwa na hii ilikuwa agenda number 1, maliza mama mboga, watu wa boda, students, makanga, wakulima wadogo, etc. Hapo tulitupishwa mbao even though mbao yenyewe haina value. Kenya ni yetu sote. Ask yourselves if mtukufu Lies is doing all this witchcraft the name of manifesto. What is really left for us? Binti.
Where? Yes, Al-Shafei, sorry.
Yeah, so that was my message for today night. And I will just like, before I drop KOT Sonko, just to say something about it.
Sorry, say something about?
I would like KOT Sonko to say something about my message.
Buddha, your message is
Hey,
straight
bro.
home.
The message.
KOT, just a moment. Your message is straight home. I've been listening to it keenly. Una make sense sana. You're so on point. Na ume dissect hizo issues venye zinafaa kudissectiwa, and I really loved it. I really loved listening to it, by the way. And that's why I didn't even stop you, because I knew this is not the time for the presentations, but that was quite something. It was an exception. Thank you very much for coming through.
I'm glad. Back to you, Binti.
Okay, bro. So personally, Binti, just a minute. So, bro, but imekuwa time sana before you joined these spaces and contributed, because I've known you since this movement started. You have been injecting through the spoken words, and so the message is home. It's a very nice message. Honestly, I think you should work closely na how akina nonini kina oeba, yeah? And of course, you can come up with something
good about the scam deals zenye tuko nazo Kenya kama Adani. So you have a good talent, honestly. Yeah, you have a good talent.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
you keep in checking, bro, and always come here on the spaces, request for the mic. Do it the way you have done it, because you never know. You can get a chance to record something good with these big artists kama kina Nonini. So just keep doing it, bro. Thank you so much.
I'm glad.
The Ashfemi, I have a request. Can we get the, what should I call it? Like the, not the lyrics, but the lyrics, because I know, I'm sure there's some things that bettered me, myself and I, but I had to go, it's a kind of shika somewhere inside there. So please send us if you have a PDF or something, we can just put on the Jumbotron and we can all read it again in our spare time, or just post it yourself and we can retweet it. But
Okay,
thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll just do it and post it on my timeline.
Sawa. Thank you very much. Ayo, are you back?
Back like a vertebrate, back like I never left.
Sawa, twende kazi, endelea.
Shikuku alikuwa ameongea? Na sijasikia Hana pia alikuwa ameongea?
Yes. Actually, yeah, give Hannah first, just because she was here before, and then we'll come to the rest afterwards. Hannah,
all right. Hi, Hannah. How are you doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, how offended are you?
I'm 100% offended. Am I clear? Good. I'm very, very much offended. There's everything that you guys have talked about, but there's one thing you guys haven't touched, and I'm going to explain it to you. Because I'm from diaspora. Most of people who are in diaspora, they actually know what it takes to integrate into a system that is not theirs. First of the problem is either you are born by birth in that area, in that place, so that is good for you, you get your ID, either you register, or else you are married. These people are going to be given a 30-year contract. You know what it means, 30-year contract? 30 years contract. That person is going to integrate, add more to your number of population. So you have to have a system that's going to accommodate them. That is how even us in diaspora, we are accommodated. It's either positive or negative. If you are not able to be accommodated, they will ask you to leave. If you're well accommodated, that means you're working and performing and bringing value to their system. Now these people, they are given a 30-year contract. To be a Kenyan, it's very easy. I swear. I have seen a Nigerian, so many Nigerians with a Kenyan ID and Kenyan passport. If you ask them, how did you get them? They will tell you, easy peasy. What Kenyans lack is manners. So what they do is give money. They get everything. We as Kenyans, we are in that system. We can't even get our own IDs. I had to struggle to get my ID. Had to go with my dad and my mom and my brother to show them, mimi si Somali, mimi si Ethiopia, so that I can be given an ID. Imagine even if I'm Somali or I was an Ethiopian, if I was a Kenyan, why are you unanibagua kwa nini? Ati ID ya mama yako ni ile ya kitambo sana, so they need to have the new. Those people, they are old right now. Why are you stressing them? Why are you stressing them? So you imagine these people are going to be given a 30-year deal. To be a Kenyan, you just need 7 years. 7 years to be a Kenyan. After 7 years, you have worked in Adani. You can go show them that you're working in Adani, and you're given a Kenyan citizenship. PAP. Double. The Kenyan people, those people who are working in embassies, the Kenyans working in embassies, If you are recruited in Kenya to work in a specific embassy, let's say in Paris, those people, they cannot be given identity cards za huko, wanapewagwa working card. Once they are finished, maybe your contract is 7 years or 2 years, manzo unarudishwa nyumbani. You cannot renew it unless you go back home, you renew, then you come back. So imagine these people are going to be given open contract. I have visited the Paris big CDG, we call it CDG airport. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It is big. And do you know who are taking care of that thing? Arabs and Mauritius. And also we have this group called Madagascar. And imagine how Madagascar in Aka. Shame on us, Akiama. Shame on our people. Shame on ourselves. Those are the people who come from, they are the working force. They are the ones who are tilling, removing bags. It is well arranged. What is lacking in Africa is one thing, and I will always stress it. The energy to give to your people. We have this president who died, prime minister who died in Singapore called Lee Kuan. Lee Kuan had two options once he became the prime minister of Singapore. One, either he becomes rich and he makes his family rich like the Ruto and not exception, or make the country rich. And the man looked around and said, yes, I'm going to make my people rich. And they were worse than even us. Sisi tuko na minerals. Wao walikuwa wanauza mpaka bangi. Wallahi wanaletea cocaines so that they can kill each other. How do you know Adani is not going to bring that thing in Kenya? You have already given them this exclusivity. Do you know what they eat back there home? Mnaletewa majuice zenye si juice actually. Zimetengenezwa. I mean food processing. I mean food in relation with food. But when you see things that come from India, you are like, no, even them themselves, they don't want to eat. So nyinyi mtaletewa. What will you say? Then you give them that area, wajenge. That area is not supposed to kujengwa. That area is supposed to be emergency area. In case of ndege yanguke, ama ndege iko, it has a place to land so that it don't fall on people. It's not that we are lacking land. The land is there. That thing can be built. And let me tell you one thing. When it comes to building airports, come to building roads, Kenyans, we are usually being taken as wajinga of the wajingas of the world. To build a sustainable road that will stay for 30, 40 years, you have to make it like the foundation of a house. Wacha nikwambie, I had to sit down mimi na wazimu yangu because I always ask myself, why do things work outside here? And when we go back home, things do not work. Even as ourselves, we have to make ourselves do things. Hii kazi yako, unaona mtu ametengeneza barabara na anatengeneza na kuja na kumwagia hapo rama, and then you just walk as if nothing. It does not make you wonder, why is this person doing it like this? And it's not supposed to be done like that. Wanamwagaga wanachimba. Once wanachimba, wanatengeneza, wanamwaga simiti. Wanapanga layers kama unajenga nyumba. Then unamwaga simiti, makokoto, then simiti again. Then afterwards ndio wanamwagilia maram ya juu ile hiyo ya black. Barabara inabakia 30, 40, 50 years. Au utaona ka pothole kakijengwa, unapiga picha. Watu wanapiga picha ati kuna pothole hapa, inaenda directly kwa mayor anakuja. The next 2 days, within 2 days ameambiwa aende. Amemwagiwa pesa ya kufanya hiyo kazi. Pothole, it's not supposed to we are not supposed to have potholes in the barabaras. Why are we accepting such things? This is so dangerous. Me, I'm angry. Why am I angry? Because if anybody, like the government of Kenya, would have told diasporians, listen, thing which we called airport, we want to make it beautiful, we want to make it big, we want to make it to the standards of the international level. So let's do this, wase wako diaspora. Help us. Fungueni till number. Lakini kabla wafungue till number, let them give us the right information. The same thing happened to the dam ya Ethiopia. That Renaissance dam, that's what they did. And it was already told in advance. They did not do it like we are doing it at Sidri Talk. You don't even know when that deal was stricken and how long that it took. Because easy ni deals zenye zilikuwa zimestraikiwa now wakiwa out of the government before they came in. The Renaissance Dam, it's not the person who built it right now that made that thing. It was before. That ule prime minister kona macho to specs to around kama scientist. That is the person. And he said, give us money. And I'm telling you, I have Ethiopian friends. They gave their full salary. Why? Because they knew once the Renaissance Dam is full, there is electricity. And once there is electricity, there will be workforce. And because there's factories, people are going to work. And that way, those who are in diaspora, they're not going to be nipatie black tax. No, it will not. There will not be black tax. Mtu hata nipigia simu niambia ati unajua hakuna kazi. No, unaenda kazi yako. Sasa auntie, sasa sister, sasa. We just do not have that energy of giving ourselves the benefit of doubt. We so much doubt each other. We do not love ourselves. Munasemanga, we love Kenya. Yes, as a country, yes, we love Kenya as a country. But we do not love each other as brothers and sisters. So we have to bring back Ubuntu in our minds, in our hearts. That ule mwenye tunaweka pale on the government, haendi kusimama hapo because of his own interest, kwa sababu sijui ali spend thousands and thousands of money so that akakuwa elected. No, ni kwa sababu amesimama pale, he has a vision, na hii vision ni atoe kwa kichwa aiweke kwa barabara ama aiweke kwa reality. The problem ni wako na vision zimebakia kwa kichwa. Mtu ana mdomo tu écoute, je ne veux pas, je sais pas. Munatusumbua kichwa. We are stressing. Kenya, we are always in a permanent. Yani kama roho inataka kutoka kwa mwili. Kwa nini roho itoka kwa mwili akiama east west mara ni huyu? Every time politics. We are supposed to be talking about economy, not politics every time. Kila time mtu anafunguka TV. Yani, for example, I take one full year. I'm not going to listen to Kenyan TV. After 1 year, I open the TV. I'm telling you, it's the same shit all the time. Same. Shule zinachomeka, hospitali hakuna madawa, sijui what. We are tired. You are stressed before you are stressed. Damu inapanda. You even do not have the energy of taking the phone and calling your people because you are tired. Kwa sababu unajua, the minute tutawapigia, watakusumbua. Na wanakusumbulia nini? Vitu za ujinga. Nitumie hii. Wao wako hapo. So we also as like young people have to do our community service. If we are not going to do our community service, there's no need for us to talk. Huwezi sema tu uko kwa area kama Githurai for example, hakuna mti, munapigwa na dust January mpaka December unless ile time ya June, July mvua inanyesha, and then there you are, unasema life is hard. Yes, life is hard. Kula chenye ulikuwa unataka. Mti moja uwezi panda hapo. Mti moja, kamti kamoja, useme leo nimejitolelea na panda mti moja. Mwaka mzima useme sitaki hata mti moja peke yake. So we also have to love ourselves. Where we stay, it has to be proper, not only inside, but also outside. Because the way we always have this saying in other countries. If you want to know a person's heart, go to the kitchen and go to the toilet. If the person is clean, then the heart is clean. So it's the same thing as what is going on with Adani. They are bringing you all this shit because they know very well they are not clean inside. They do not care about us. This is your watu. That's why they are killing us. And nobody will get, they will not care. Tutanunua hizo guns, tutanunua hizo bullets with our own taxes. Watatukimbiza mpaka huku kwenye tunakimbiza huku na KRA. Hana, please register your money. Huh? Then afterwards watatuua na hizo bullets. It is not the first time, it will not be the last time unless we change. We have to change the system completely. And it does not start with, no, it starts right now, right here. Unless we do that, there's no way. But let me, msidanganywa, we cannot change that Adani deal. We will change that Adani deal. The Adani people, they already know. By force, by fire, if they put themselves in that dangerous situation, they will have to bear their own problems themselves. That is my all. Thank you very much for the mic. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Hey, your energy has incited me. Guys, let's keep this going. Don't forget to tweet #StopAdani. This is Sauti ya Mwananchi, brought to you by KOT Sonko. I've got my co-host here with me, Ayo. We also have Wanyama. We're doing a marathon. Wanyama was hosting that marathon, and we also have Kawino and Rabia. So 24 hours, we still have a lot of hours left. So guys, come to the mic. We want to hear your voices. How do we stop this Adani? And speak to us about these documents coming out every now and then. So remember to again tweet #StopAdani, and we'll go to Shikuku. Shikuku.
Yeah. Thank you, KOT. Now, what I want to say about this Adani is that I want to go back a little bit. How these things have come about. You know, most of young people are wondering how we are in this mess. Why are these guys being moving around with impunity, selling everything without a care in the world? When you come out on the street to tell them, no, what you're doing is wrong, they shoot at us, they kill us. Now, when we go back, the moment the rain started beating us was around 1988. The 1988 elections, the Mlolongo elections, there was not much money involved. The moment money came into Kenyan politics, into Kenyan campaign as per se, was